Good evening, goeienaand. My naam is August Engelbrecht. I'm August Engelbrecht and I'm in the Dean's office of the Faculty of Engineering. I will be your host this evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you, prospective engineering students, our new engineering Maties students of 2024, and also hello to your mom and dad, and if your granny is around, also hello to granny. Our program will hopefully give you a very good taste of what you can expect and also what you can prepare for when you arrive at Stellenbosch University next year. We know that many of you have applied and you have also been accepted at other institutions. Maybe you have been accepted for other degree programs. So we hope to give you enough information about engineering this evening so that you can make an informed decision about your career. You will hear from our Dean, Professor Wikus van Niekerk, and also our Vice Dean, Professor Celeste Viljoen, and you will hear the voices of our students. And parents, mums, dads, you will also hear from a parent whose daughter is currently an engineering student and also had a son who completed engineering a few years ago. So students, we want you to engage with us. Please pick up your phone. If you've got a burning question, post that question in the WhatsApp. You know the WhatsApp number, but I'll just give it to you again. It's on the screen now. It's 083 7921 207. So throw us with your burning questions. We've got two professors to answer those questions for you. So the Dean and the Vice Dean will handle the Q&A. But let us now give you a glimpse of the Faculty of Engineering. Why engineering at Stellenbosch University? What is it that you can expect? Let's listen to Professor Wikus van Niekerk, our Dean.
Goeienaand, Molweni. Good evening. It's a real privilege to speak to you this evening and to give you more information about what we are all about and how you can come and advance your career at Stellenbosch University. I will start by showing just some pictures of our faculty. We are currently spending close to 1 billion rand revamping all our buildings. The industrial engineering building, the mechanical engineering building, and the civil engineering buildings are done. We're currently working on our electronic engineering building, and then we'll do chemical and the engineering and the main building. So when you come here, you will find brand new state-of-the-art facilities where you can study engineering. We also have to congratulate you because you are part of a very, very small select group. We receive close to 15,000 applicants and we only have about 790 places. So we are very careful to select you and we look specifically at your success at Stellenbosch University, and therefore you will find that a large number of the learners who will join us next year will have a metric average of over 80%. We have a number of different programs: chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, and inside that we have a specialization area in data engineering. We have industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, and mechatronic engineering. All our programs are accredited by EXA, the Engineering Council of South Africa, and then through the so-called Washington Accord, your degree from Stellenbosch University will enable you to register as a professional engineer in many countries in the world, including North America, Canada, Australia, Singapore, and the UK. Just some numbers to give you a feel for the size of our faculty. So we typically have about 2,900 undergraduate students and just over 1,000 postgraduate students. In 2022, the last academic year, we graduated 493 Bachelors of Engineering degrees, 261 Masters, and 53 PhDs. We graduated the most PhDs of any faculty at Stellenbosch University, which is also an indication of the quality of our research programs, which of course benefits the undergraduate programs because it remains very relevant. So as I said, we typically take in about 790 first-year students. 74% of them will graduate in 4, 5, and 6 years. The other 26 that will not graduate with an engineering degree might still remain at Stellenbosch and graduate with a different degree, for instance, a Bachelor's of Science or a Bachelor's of Commerce. If you look in the rest of the country, the average graduation rate at other universities, faculties of engineering, sits around 44%. About 40% of the new learners or the new first years in 2024 will graduate in 4 years. We also have made significant strides in diversifying our student body. In 2023, our first year intake, 24% were Black African students, 8% so-called coloureds, and 6% were from the Indian group. A lot of times we get the question about the language of intuition. Daar word dikwels gevra, maar is daar nog 'n rol vir Afrikaans by Stellenbosch Universiteit in Ingenieurswese? En dit is beslis so. In the first semester of the first year, we have parallel mediums, and all the lectures in the English stream will be in English, as well as the textbooks are in English and the notes will be in English. En soortgelyk sal daar in die Afrikaanse stroom, Afrikaanse lesings, Afrikaanse notas wees. Ongelukkig is die handboeke steeds meerendeels in Engels. There is in the second semester an elective course where it will be only English. In the second year, where we have last classes, we still have some parallels, especially in engineering mathematics and applied mathematics, but progressively we will then move into a situation where the lectures will switch to English. If you come to Stellenbosch University, you will have a 100% English offer from the first day of your registration at the Faculty of Engineering right until you graduate. However, you always have the opportunity with the test and the exams where the papers are set in Afrikaans and English up to the third year, and even in the fourth year. As jy graag 'n vraestel in Afrikaans wil hê, dan kan jy vir ons vra en ons sal vir jou ook 'n Afrikaanse vraestel beskikbaar maak. We're really a language-friendly environment, and I can promise everybody that in the Faculty of Engineering, language is not an issue. It is something that we cherish, both Afrikaans and English, and we live in a multicultural, multilingual environment. The other big advantage of studying engineering at Stellenbosch University is that we have a common first year, except for the data engineering stream. You can see the different modules that you will take in the first and the second semester of your first year. But the advantage of the common first year is that if you, for instance, are allowed next year into the civil engineering program, but perhaps you really wanted to study mechatronic engineering, then at the end of the first year, if you have passed all your modules, without asking anybody, in your second year, you can switch from civil to mechatronic engineering. Also, even if you have failed 1 or 2 modules, you can still do that, but then you need the permission of the chair of the department into which program you want to switch. We have to be quite honest and tell you that engineering studies is hard. It's probably one of the harder programs to study at Stellenbosch University. It is difficult, and also it is quite expensive to study. So many times we wonder, will we be successful? However, as I said before with the other statistics, it is quite possible that you will be a successful student. But you will have to get the balance between work and play right. And we put a lot of emphasis right from the first week to tell you and to help you with your time management. If you manage your time appropriately and you keep the balance, then you will be successful in engineering. We also have a Dean's period for our first year students, and you can see the lecturers there on the right hand side, myself, Professor Viljoen, Dr. Tardy, and Professor Blaine. And during this period, we give you a lot of information around how you can structure your program to study. We give you tips on how to be a successful student, and we give you a lot of other information around what your engineering studies will be in future in order to prepare you to be a successful student. We also have additional support staff in place that is primarily there to take care of our first year students. I typically are sometimes called the father of all the first years, and I think Professor Viljoen will also acknowledge that a lot of times she's seen as the mother of all the first year students. So you're welcome to come and chat to me or Professor Viljoen if you have any questions. But then also we have Miss Natalie White, who's specifically there to support our students. And whenever you have any problem, whether it's an academic problem, a financial problem, or a mental problem, you're more than welcome to contact her, and she will direct you to an appropriate support service within the university and also within the faculty. Also, we have Mr. August Engelbrecht here. He's not only responsible for recruitment, he is also responsible for retainment of our students. So he puts a lot of effort in to make sure that all our first years are quickly settled in, and he looks after them through the rest of the first year. We also have two educational psychologists in that faculty that is there, and you can make use of their services free of charge. However, to be a successful student at Stellenbosch, it has to come from both parties. We all want, and you want it, and we also want you to have a world-class qualification, but it will require hard work, discipline, integrity. We have a number of rules and we apply them quite strictly. We want you to become a mature student while you are with us and take full responsibility for your academic progress. Obtaining your Bachelor's of Engineering degree must be your first priority at Stellenbosch. And what is the reward? The reward is a quality degree that is recognized worldwide. I have to share this with you today. I was informed today of one of our old students who's currently interviewing for a position with SpaceX. SpaceX is Elon Musk's company, right? And I'm really following that because if she gets it, it's going to be so cool. So we can say that you come to Stellenbosch, you can even get a job with SpaceX. But it's really true that our degree is internationally recognized at some of the best companies and the best universities in the world. So by getting the degree from Stellenbosch, you open yourself up for opportunities not only in South Africa, but also abroad. For more information, and we'll leave the slide on there for a little while, you can contact August at sun.ac.za for more information. The university's client services, there is info@sun.ac.za, and then of course you can always go to our own website, www.eng.sun.ac.za, for more information. Thank you very much for this opportunity that you are listening to us, and I can see August is already looking at the phone trying to decipher all the WhatsApp messages that we have. August?
Thank you very much, Professor. That was well done. A good start. So now we will, please join us for a very brief video while we set up for our Vice Dean that will be joining us so that we can do some Q&A with you. Just a final reminder, if you haven't done so yet, just have another look at the WhatsApp number and please throw your questions to us on that WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 083-792-1207. We're waiting on your WhatsApps. Have a look at this video in the meantime.
Who we become depends on the choices we make. And what we choose is influenced by what we think, what we learn, what we dream. Who we become is shaped by what we stand for. Because when we uphold others' dignity, appreciate diversity and work for equality, we are our best selves. Who we become is inspired by the people around us. Our mentors, our teachers, our family, our colleagues, our friends. Who we become and what we achieve is the sum of all the opportunities we embrace. all the roads we travel. Discover Stellenbosch University, where who you become will transcend even your own expectations. Where we stand together, where we move forward together.
Okay, welcome to our Q&A. As I already mentioned, I've got the Dean, Prof van Niekerk, and Prof Viljoen, our Vice Dean, to help you answer those questions. Here's an interesting question that just came in. What are typical academic problems and what do you normally recommend? Maybe we can ask you, Prof Viljoen.
Yeah, so typical academic problems can be that the high credit load of the engineering program is something that requires quite careful time management. And so if a student is struggling to actually manage their time well in order to keep up with the work as it's covered week by week, then that may be something that could make them fall behind. I think something else that is very important is to attend the classes. I think from class attendance and interacting with your fellow students, you will quickly realize when you are falling behind. So I think one of the most risky things is not to attend class, because then you will not realize soon enough that you are falling behind. Whereas if you are attending class and every week's tutorial in all your modules, then I think you would be, you would recognize early enough that you need to spend more time on the subject material. And there's a lot of support available, both from the lecturers and also from students, you know, between themselves and with each other. They are also, you also can gain a lot from interaction with your fellow classmates and interaction with the tutors and with the lecturers in the various modules. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Another question, what makes Stellenbosch University's mechatronic engineering program different from other universities' program? Prof.
Yeah, so we were actually the first university in South Africa that offered a mechatronics program, which is dedicated in mechatronics. There are a number of other departments in the country that also does it. For instance, the big difference between Stellenbosch Mechatronics and the mechatronics at University of Cape Town is that in their mechatronics is mainly housed within a department of electrical engineering, and it's very, very heavy on the electronic side of mechatronics. The program that you will find at Nelson Mandela University in Kuberka, that program is very, very similar to our program. So our program is a very good balance between mechanical engineering and electronic engineering. And what I can tell you is that our graduates are highly sought after in industry because of that.
Thank you. Another question, Prof. Viljoen, maybe you can tackle this one. How is data engineering different from the rest of the engineering programs at Stellenbosch?
Yeah, so data engineering has a higher level of computer science and data decision-making modules in it. And so from that perspective, it's a course that really prepares you for, I'd say, our new world of large data that you need to be able to both manipulate and use in modeling to clean and filter in ways that would allow you to make that data useful in order to support engineering decision making.
Absolutely. Here's a question. It's about drawings. So you from mechanical engineer. Is it really hard to do drawings for the first time in my first year? And how is the university going to help learners or students who struggle with drawings?
Okay, so to start off with, we do not require our first year students to have engineering graphic design or EGD at school. We assume that all the students who come into the first year didn't do that subject at all, so we start from scratch. I think that's very important. We've been teaching drawing for many, many years, so I can tell you that we have a lot of experience in how to teach drawing, and we do it to all the students: chemical engineering, mechanical, civil, and electrical electronic engineering. There's a lot of help around when we start teaching a module such as engineering drawing. You have, of course, the lectures, but then also we have tutorials, and in the tutorials we have student assistants that are there that actually helps the students who are struggling with some of the concepts or some of the questions of that afternoon's tutorial, and help to guide them through the different steps they need to take in order to be able to draw. So we actually start with just drawing by hand, and then we progress to the so-called CAD or computer-aided design, and then also we do some descriptive geometry in that. But I know it's quite threatening, and a lot of students think it is very, very hard and they won't cope with it, but I can promise you they all do. And what we've also recently introduced is that for those students who do not complete or pass engineering drawing in the first semester of their first year, there's a summer school, typically over December and January, where they can then repeat the module and pass the module before the start of the second academic year. So there's actually 2 chances in your first year to pass engineering drawing. So and with that, we've actually had a lot of success. This year was the first year we had that summer school, and the majority of the students who took that second chance passed engineering drawing.
Excellent. Students, thank you very much for all your questions. There's lots coming in, and we'll see how many of these we can cover this evening. An interesting question. What is the difference between studying a B.Eng and a BSc Eng as offered by other universities?
It is exactly the same degree. So there are what we call 4-year degree programs. So normally you will find at Stellenbosch University of Pretoria, it's called a Bachelor's of Engineering or a B.Eng. But if you go to WITS or UCT or UKZN, you will find that they call exactly the same degree a Bachelor's of Science in Engineering, a BSc Eng. There are some new degrees at the University of Technologies. Those are 3-year degrees, and it's called a Bachelor's of Engineering Technology, a BET degree. But any 4-year degree program, engineering program in South Africa are very, very similar, and all of them are also accredited by Excel.
Now, here's a question for a civil engineer. Prof. Viljoen, you're a civil engineer. Nice meeting you, Frans. Thanks for the question. I've applied and been accepted for civil engineering at Pretoria University and at Stellenbosch. Why must I come to Stellenbosch?
Okay, so I'm not going to start a rivalry between us and Pretoria. I think they also offer an excellent degree. So I will focus on the non-technical aspects of Stellenbosch that makes it very special. So I think Stellenbosch, at the Faculty of Engineering, we do offer a lot of support to our first years, but all the way through until graduation. And Professor van der Kerk already spoke about that to some extent, so I'm not going to recap that. But just to say that in addition, in the later years, also in your department, there will be a lot of support academically. But then, of course, academics is not the only thing that you choose a university for. And Stellenbosch is really a fantastic campus. It's just beautiful. And also, I think one of the things about Stellenbosch is that the students can really feel that the town belongs to them. I know that because the town is, and the university buildings are integrated in the town, it's not a separate campus that's walled off or gated. You really feel a part of the town, and I think the students really feel that the town belongs to them. And those of us who live here will have the experience that when the students are on holiday, that suddenly the town is quite empty and quiet, and we do miss you when you are gone. So that I think is an important thing. There's a lot of sports facilities, excellent sports facilities, and also cultural and other activities in the campus community that I think is really special. So from that perspective, I think Stellenbosch would be a wonderful choice.
Mm-hmm. My dad is an engineer. I'm interested in engineering. I'm a woman. Will I fit in? Prof. Viljoen, you're a woman. Please help.
Okay, this is a difficult question to answer, really. Women can obviously succeed in engineering. That to me is a starting point, of course. I mean, I'm a woman in engineering. We have a large number of students who are female as well. At the moment, we take in about 30% of our first year intake are female students. I can also say that the female students graduate, a slightly larger percentage of them graduate in the minimum time than the males. But overall, the male and the female students graduate at similar success rates. So females are equally successful at their engineering studies. I do think that there's really a great need in industry for female engineers. I think females bring different perspectives, they represent a different voice, and from that perspective it's important to have female engineers, so please do come if you are a female engineer.
Thank you. You want to add to that?
Yeah, I forgot to say, the engineer from Stellenbosch who's interviewing for the SpaceX job is a female engineer, right? And also, I can tell you my own experience. My daughter studied chemical engineering at Stellenbosch University. She enjoyed it thoroughly. She never had any issues. There was really no gender issues in the class. And she's also now working internationally in a pharmaceutical company. So I would really encourage the female learners to come and study engineering. I think engineering is a great career choice for females. So please take the plunge and come and join us.
All right, so students, unfortunately we can't answer all your questions this evening. We will try our best to get all the questions and then answer your questions. We might even consider putting some of the questions on our web page, and then we'll provide you with the answers. So unfortunately we cannot continue with your Q&A. Here's the last one that I would like to ask Professor van Niekerk. What types of postgraduate study opportunities are available in engineering overseas? Of course, that's transfer student.
Okay. So, as I said before, our degree is accepted internationally for registration as a professional engineer, but it is also well accepted for postgraduate studies. And our students go and they study at the best universities in the world, including the Stanfords, the MITs and the Berkeleys in the US, the Oxfords and the Cambridges and the University of Leuven in Europe. So we really prepare you well enough, and actually I can tell you that our students frequently excel at those universities and go to the top of their class. So it's very, very easy to take your Stellenbosch academic qualification and go abroad. However, we also have some wonderful opportunities at Stellenbosch University for postgraduate student studies. We have a postgraduate diploma in engineering. We have both a coursework master's and a research master's. And then, of course, if you want to stay in Stellenbosch a little bit longer, you can complete your PhD or your doctoral degree. We also started last year with a hybrid new degree, a master's in engineering management. And with that, you can be anywhere in the world. Our most remote student was actually at the Sanai base in Antarctica studying engineering management through Stellenbosch University. So you can go anywhere, but my suggestion would be for your first degree, your first postgraduate degree, especially your master's, rather stay at Stellenbosch University. It's much cheaper than studying at abroad, and you'll get an equally, if not maybe a little bit better education than some of these other universities.
Thank you very much to the Dean and the Vice Dean. You've really answered the questions well. And as I said, the rest of you, post those questions and we'll make sure that we get the answers through to you. All right, so for the next few minutes, we want you to view a video. And this video is about our students. They will tell you why they've chosen engineering at Stellenbosch University and why learners from top schools are really the ones that should choose engineering. Enjoy this video.
Engineers are people that find problems, analyze them, and create innovative solutions to them.
They do more than just create. They also allow for growth and change.
Engineers are people that help better communities, people that improve the country.
They are wonderful people. They're not as nerdy as people think they are. They are actually human beings.
The Faculty of Engineering at Stellenbosch University is definitely one of the leading engineering faculties in the country. We have a very, very high standard. We have a very significant research profile.
First year is a common year that all of the engineering disciplines share. From second year onwards, you specialise in your engineering direction.
Students don't just learn the theory, but they actually can use the tools as well.
There are a lot of different laboratories and you build up a lot of practical experience.
We have great computer facilities where all the programs we need are available.
There's more than one study center. There's libraries to help a student with anything that they require.
Stellenbosch is not only about the academics, there's a wide range of societies and sports. You can play rugby, you can play music.
Stellenbosch has a very vibrant atmosphere.
There's so many things to do, there's so many different types of people that you meet.
It's really the package you'd want.
Some people think that engineering is still very male dominated, but when I came here I was pleasantly surprised. There are a ton of girls, women that study engineering, enjoy it, excel at it.
Initially, I thought you'd need to know Afrikaans. It needed to be your first language. However, I was wrong. All the courses are available in English.
Graduates are equipped to work in fields such as robotics, machine learning, biotech, aeronautics.
But we get taught a wider range of skills which can be applied in various sectors also.
You can get a lot of jobs in different industries. Overseas, you can find yourself maybe in an industry such as finance.
Everywhere where something needs to be built, where a problem needs to be solved, you'll need an engineer. Who would enjoy engineering? I'd absolutely have to say those that enjoy science and maths.
People that love detailed analysis of problems, but also love incorporating creativity into their solutions.
You need to have the passion for learning. You need to be determined.
It needs passion, it needs you.
So if you've been thinking about it, just go ahead and do it, because it will change your life and it will open up so many opportunities for you in the future.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine, and today I'm here with three of my friends, Pila, Anton, and Tim, and we're going to share our student experiences at Stellenbosch University as engineering students. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is our living experience. I'm going to start with Anton, as Anton lives in Res.
Hi. Yes, I've been staying in Res for about 3 years now. It is truly a wholesome experience, not only for or throughout academic and social life. Staying in Res allows you to interact with the Stellenbosch community as a whole, as well as your cluster, the ESA cluster. I'm sure you have heard about that. And within that cluster, you are always interacting with other residences. You are meeting students from other degrees. You are interacting with fun activities. I'm sure you've heard of Welcoming Week, where you interact quite a bit with other students and residences. Along with that, you also have different roles in your residence, where you have the opportunity to go through leadership courses. You have the opportunity to take on tasks which help and enable other students in your community to be successful and happy and have fun. So yeah, it's really a wholesome experience where you are not only doing academic work, but also interacting with those around you.
Tim, I know you don't live in Res. How would you describe your living experience?
Yeah, so I'd say, it's also quite good. It's not fully as integrated as Res, but there are PSOs, which are private student organizations, and they offer activities and dances and many of the things that Res does. But obviously, it's people that you're not staying with. But it's still a very good chance to meet new people, make friends, and do lots of activities.
And I could definitely add on, because I've been at Res and privately, and one thing I can say is that living privately gives more room of independence, but at the same time you get that community feel through a PSO. Yeah.
So Tim, since you don't live in Res, how would you say you get around campus, and do you find it to be easy or difficult?
So I would say we're in a very lucky position here in studies. Everything is very close. So you can walk everywhere you need to go. I walk to engineering every day. I'm fortunate enough to have a car, but I usually walk everywhere. It's convenient to have, but you don't need it. So yeah, walking is usually my go-to.
Pila, would you like to add on that?
Well, I don't have a car, but I can still go by very easily. And I think one of the best parts about being a Stellenbosch is that we have a shuttle service. So if you live a bit too far off campus, they can drop you directly at your doorstep. So that's very convenient.
I think a lot of people would wonder, is it safe to walk around Stellenbosch? Is it safe to use the shuttle? How long does the shuttle run for? What could you add to that?
Stellenbosch has the beauty of having it open campus but still safe. So we have campus security patrolling throughout the night. There are booths at the end of each street. There's a booth where you guarantee to be safe. And in terms of safety, I think Anton can elaborate on that.
Yes, it is. I would say it's safe as well. I mean, we've got the necessary security and personnel to aid you, whether you need to walk home late at night after a long night of studying, which is normally the case in engineering.
Yeah, true.
Or perhaps you need to study or leave from Res to go and study. The same applies. You always have someone that can support you on that. In terms of driving, it is also quite safe since there are parking allocations for students which you can apply for. I myself use a car now and then, not necessarily to travel to engineering, but when I'm going to gym or if I'm traveling from home and I need to quickly go to class, there is parking allocations, both public and for students, that you can apply for. And these parking spots are also surrounded by cameras, security cameras, and there are security guards also patrolling the area.
Thank you. So a lot of people tend to think that engineering is all about studying, but we actually do have lives outside of engineering. I myself volunteer at the international office as a Matie buddy, and I've recently been selected to go to Switzerland. And basically what I do at the international office is that I help the international students adjust to Stellenbosch. Anton's into something pretty interesting, so I'd like to start with Anton.
Yes, I run my own 3D printing and design company, so that is my, or the one extracurricular activity that I take part in most. Essentially, I design products, I 3D print them, I consult with students, businesses, individuals, hobbyists in developing their ideas or bringing their ideas into reality. On the side of that, I also hike, I go to gym. There's also sports that you can do. Tim, what are your?
So I like going to gym, and you definitely have to manage your time well, but there is time to do other things. A really fun thing that you can do is join a society. I'm part of two, the Maties Rock Climbing Society and the Ballroom Dance Society. And yeah, it's a really nice way to wind down and do something different.
And for me, at some point I was part of the SAR when I was part of Res, which is like a choir. So you really get to detach out of school and just have a breather. I also like going sightseeing. I'm not from the Western Cape, so being here is quite a privilege. It's there's a lot of places that you can visit, and there is time if you manage your time wisely.
One last thing I'd like to touch on is coming into university is a whole different ballgame. There's so many new things you're going to be exposed to. So we'd like to share the various students' support structures that are within engineering and within the university. I'll start with mental health. I would like to say that the engineering faculty really makes sure that the students are well looked after. We have the educational psychologist, as the dean had mentioned, but yeah, I'll open the floor for people to add.
Yeah, and I mean, in first year, as well as the tutorials and other things, we have TA sessions at night. And there, if you're struggling with content, you can go. And I think it's a period of about 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Where you can really just sit down with the teaching assistant and you can ask them questions and they help you through the problems. And yeah, I feel like that got me through first year, so I'm grateful for that.
Valid. I think another point to add is that you're really not an island when you're here. Find your mates, find the people that you can really form a group. And if you have that, yeah, you'll survive first year.
Yeah, no, it's very important to
yes.
make friends and chat to them, because without mates you're not going to get through engineering.
Yes, yes, true.
To close, do you have any advice for our incoming engineering students, or just any remarks you would like?
Can I
yeah, you can go.
I would just say embrace your community. Embrace Stellenbosch, embrace an engineering faculty. There is so much you can do here, whether it's for academic, social, cultural, or even for your own self, your mental wellness. Yeah, just do what you can, enjoy every moment of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's important to know that, like, if you're doing engineering, you are going to have to work hard. But you must also remember to keep time for yourself and have fun at university, because Stellenbosch is a lot of fun. So.
Yes. The last thing I'd like to add is the staff members you've seen here today, they want you to graduate, they want to help you, and they're open and willing to help you. So please don't shy away. Next year, those are the people you should go to for any issue, good or bad. They're willing to help you. Yeah.
This is Maties101, the home of Stellenbosch University. Here, you will receive a world-class education and have the time of your life. There is space for 7,500 students in a myriad of different residence options on the main campus, while a further 1,000 students are housed in 5 residences on Tygerberg campus. Our students are those who are curious to know, those who want to change the world and their own lives for the better. The diverse student community is a vibrant testimony to a future-driven campus which caters for the needs of all students. The Nielsen Student Center is a popular get-together spot right at the heart of campus. At Stellenbosch University, you are connected to the world through excellent technology. Across campus, there are 6 faculty-specific computer user areas to complement our state-of-the-art institution. Each faculty offers their students access to a variety of disciplines and the opportunity to be exposed to the finer things in life. Our beautiful campus has paved walkways winding between campus buildings dating from different eras. Here you have free access to the one-of-a-kind beauty of Stellenbosch town and its breathtaking natural surroundings. The superb sport facilities nurture some of the country's best athletes and afford every other active student the chance to keep fit and healthy. Make Stellenbosch University part of your journey today. Fall in love with life. Fall in love with Maties101.
I'm sure if you're thinking about a piano, you might probably think about a Hoyer piano. Now, Hoyer is a very well-known, well-established music firm here in Stellenbosch, supplying South Africa, Africa and the world with world-class musical instruments. Tonight I'm very privileged to have the owner of Hoyer with me. It's Hans Hoyer. But we're not going to talk about pianos this evening. We're going to speak about Hans's experience as a parent who had 2 children in engineering. One is a current student and one is a past student. So we would like to hear his experiences that he would like to share with other parents whose kids will be coming into engineering next year. So Hans, what would you say was the biggest adjustment for your children when they were first years?
Thank you, August. It was a huge step up from the school environment to the study environment at the university is something that we almost did not expect to be as big, but quickly realized.
So how so? What were some of the changes that took place, as it were?
High work volumes, definitely, and the student has to take responsibility for himself. Parents are no longer managers, they are supporters now.
And so that's quite a realistic view of the changes that took place. Now, Hans, why would you say it was also important for you as a parent to make adjustments? How did you adapt?
It wasn't very easy for us. However, we understood from the beginning that things are different. The university is almost like a company and the student is the client, not the parent. If I want to ask for my kids' marks of the test results, I have to ask my child. I can't go to the university and ask them. There's something like a POPI Act that we have to keep in mind, and other things that just have to change when we do that step up to the university.
Absolutely. So what advice do you have for parents whose kids will be coming to engineering next year?
Oh, may I start off by saying what my own children have said. I asked them, and my daughter, who is currently in her 3rd year, she gave me 3 pointers. And the first pointer that she said is, it's a huge jump. The second pointer is change your study methods, upgrade your study methods. And the third one that she said is, reach out for help. We all heard tonight, help is available. Don't wait, reach out. My son is more practical. He said, apply the ABC. We all know the apply but to chair. That's what's important to him. And the other thing that he mentioned was also interesting to me, find a specific study place. It was important for him to know where to go and study, where he could focus all the time. Maybe not in res, maybe at the library or at the faculty. There are places where they go to, even till late at night. My daughter comes home, then I know she's been studying.
Thank you very much, Hans. That was certainly sound advice, sorry for the pun, from the mouth of a piano man. Thank you very much. We appreciate the advice to parents. So, grade 12's prospective engineering students, we certainly look forward to welcome you next year as our new crop of students. We trust that this particular session this evening was useful to you. It will still be available on YouTube, but please note, for the next few months, you will receive some important correspondence from the university and also from the faculty. Regularly check your emails and your WhatsApps. You will be invited, for example, to join our Telegram group. Now, last year, about 600 first years joined this Telegram group, and there's some useful information that was shared. So be on the lookout for that invitation. You will also receive the welcoming program in December, and we advise you to please make sure that you attend the welcoming program, since this will assist you to adjust much quicker to university studies and this new environment. So, thank you very much for your online presence this evening. We cannot wait to welcome you in person in 2024. Goodbye.